Hello, 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 Virgo. We're here for another another reading for you, Virgo, for the month of May, second half of May, the full moon in Scorpio. Hello there. Now, the full moon in Scorpio will be emerging on the 19th, I believe. And what I'm going to do is use this Alice Tarot that was inspired by the Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll. And I want to use a full moon spread that I've used. You will recall. I'll have the video. Oh, my ear. Somebody must be thinking of me. I have the Vera Sibilla here and the runes. Let's see what we can see. So I'll put out 6 cards. I'll show you those, and each card has a position, and each position has a meaning, and each meaning is important and relevant to you. The cards are flying out. I'm going to have to put this right out in the middle because it wanted to come out. And so we are letting it come out. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. So you have 7, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll show you those and then we'll talk about each individual card. All right, so what flew out of the deck was this 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is a very stable card, a very strong card. But we'll talk about that later after this is probably the theme of your reading. Virgo, we have the Knight of Cups. I love this deck. Then we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Star card. The Judgment card. The Judgment card. It's so cute. The 4 of Cups as well. And the last card is the Hermit. Okay, so what does this mean? We'll start at the beginning. The first card is all about what did you manifest? Hi, everybody. What did you manifest from the new moon until today, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo friends? And you manifested the Knight of Cups. Well, this could be precisely a person. It could be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. And you may have manifested that person. You may have met that person. If it is an energy in your life, this also can mean you have manifested an offer to you by way of something that concerns your business, your professional life, your career, your work life, and your working environment. We will get more information with the Sibilla. Next is, where are we now? And where are we now? We're in this Ace of Wands. You're very busy. It's a busy, very busy period for you, Virgo. And not only, there's a high amount of energy here. You're on a roll. You've got things to do, places to go, people to see. It's beautiful to see these things merging. Then we have the Star. And this responds to the question, what is coming to your conscious awareness? What is coming to our conscious awareness, Virgo? What is coming is a sense of orientation, of guidance. Guidance is coming to your way. You're able more closely to contact your spirit guides. And a lot of people, when they come to me for readings and they come for consultation and coaching, there's a lot of confusion about who am I talking to? Who are these spirit guides? Do I have spirit guides? Are there people only for me? They only work for me? Or people like to say, well, spirit is giving me these messages. And there are a lot of spirits out there, So it's quite, it's something that we need. And of course, I do channeling and mediumship. So when people come, they say, well, I would like you to let me talk to spirit. And I thought, I ask, well, which one, and we concentrate, and then we pull down, we get in contact with the right one. What you are, what is coming to your conscious awareness is the fact that there are channels where you can get information, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo friends, and you're able to speak, actually speak, or hear, or get impulses. You actually are able to be affected by the messages that you receive. Now, good for you. Then we have a card in this spread that tells us, present, English present, tells us what you need to release. And you have here the Judgment card. Very superficially, I could say to you, Virgo, here you don't need to be judgmental anymore. Remove that from your life. That's a little too simplistic. What does the Judgment card talk about? It does talk also about legal issues. If you have legal issues and you are contending with a sentence that you're waiting for, expecting a ruling, if it has not gone your way in the recent period, in recent months, you cannot make that cause you to have, as they say, bad blood. You need to release that negative energy, because the thoughts are energy, and they are negative if they're not serving you in any way. And remember, karma really is a bitch. So we need to release that negative energy, but also the idea of being judgmental. But I'll clarify this later on. Now, we have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups talks to me about how can we release? How can we release? The Four of Cups typically in universal tarot terms, everyone will say, tarot readers will say, well, there's a bit of boredom here. I don't see it that way. Especially this deck is quite different. If you take a look, the Four of Cups, they are sleeping. And Alice is there looking at them and watching them sleep. And so in terms of how to release, we need to be able to think calmly of what exactly we want to do. It may have happened to you that you tried to get a person out of your mind, and you went into internet and you started looking at what could I do to release this person? How can I let them go? How can I get them to go? Let them go. And you find that you put on a piece of paper, sometimes somewhere in the internet, you'll see, well, write down everything about a certain person that you want to release. You want to release the way that you're thinking about them. You want to release the fact that you hate that, all of these things. And you want to release that person and wish them well. You go outside, burn the piece of paper, all the ashes go away, come back into your home, the phone rings and it's that person. Remember that. Remember, I'm sure you've had this experience, or they text you, or they write and say, oh, what are you doing? How are you? I've been thinking you've come to mind. When you start to release energy, the energy being taken off from a subject will be felt very, very strongly, and they need to fill that void. Why am I saying this when I talk about how to release? Very carefully. The way you release is so important, because what ultimately happens is that they'll be stuck. You won't be able to get rid of them, because in a sense, you're not ready to release them yet, or you're not doing it properly, or you're doing it more for your own good than for theirs. There's a different perspective that we need to take a look at all the different forms, all the different shapes, all the different sizes, all the different perspectives that the situation presents to you. And this Four of Cups tells you to take your time in doing that. Now, the last card here, this Hermit, talks about what we have available to us as resources to help us release. What can we use to release? And here, of course, the Hermit talks about analyzing. Remember, I just said, be careful. Look at it from different perspectives. Here again, it's being repeated. You need to study minutely the situation before you release and understand exactly what it is about that situation that you need to release. Is it just a certain thing? Is it the entire person and the friendship or whatever? But you need to be very precise and try to see exactly what is to be released. We don't want to make any mistakes. All right, now I'm going to take the Vera Sibilla here, and then we have this Four of Wands. Now the Four of Wands, I'm going to take that right away with the Sibilla and see what that is all about. Because when something like that comes out, right flying out from the deck, it's usually the theme of your reading. And the theme here, well, I'll show you these first. Fedeltà, fidelity, jealousy, gelosia, and morte, death. Now, the jealousy, we could say that it is the end of a negative cycle, at the end of a negative energy around you, all right? And you being true to yourself, you being true to your values, that's the most important thing. And this Four of Wands tells me that, Virgo, you come into this period as being very strong, psychologically and mentally. Physically as well. There's more work on the physical to be made. That's what I'm looking at. So that's one. Now, when we talk about where are we now, Virgo, you recall that there was the Ace of Wands, and there was so much energy input and creative energy being put in your work, in your relationships, everything you actually do. I have here l'amante, the male lover, could be a female, speranza, hope, and the deliranti, the delirious people. And what you are doing now is that, first of all, anything involving a loved one, an emotional, a relationship is quite difficult for you. And what I'm seeing, Virgo, is that you're putting all of your energy into your projects, your hobby, your passions, and with the hopes, speranza, that they may alleviate that, anxiety that you're feeling. Now, the other card that I wanted to highlight is this star that talks about what is coming to our conscious awareness, Virgo. And we talked about the orientation on our path, and I'm looking at these three cards: conversation, conversazione, consolante sorpresa, consoling surprise, and vecchia signora, that old lady who speaks to change. What comes to your conscious awareness? The fact that we are one, the fact that you can only feel harmony when you understand that we are one. And this truly positive change works in your favor in the second 2 weeks of May. Then we have this judgment card, the judgment. We talked about a ruling. We talked about you being requested to act, to do things, to be less judgmental. And this was the area of the spread that talks about what you no longer need, what needs to be released. And what do I have here? I've got the domestico, the house domestic. I've got the ladro, the thief, who speaks to negative change. And then I have the child, bambino. Now, that's the beginning, isn't it? Now, when we talk about releasing, we release everything that is not transparent, that needs to be. Why do I say that? Because this domestic is always a character that hides things under their cloak, and we need to remove the hidden debris. We need to heal from that and begin anew. Now, let me take the let me take the runes to see what they can add in the casting. They can add something on the floor. Just a second. All right. Good. This was a really important room. I'm glad I found it. Glad I found it. Now, look, first of all, you too, just like the Leo reading has Lagos, and it's Merkstave. It is going to be a rough and tumble 2 weeks. It's going to be a rough full moon cycle. There's no doubt about that. But what comes of it, once you're able to release, is Wunyo joy. Wunyo joy, starting a karmic diag, starting a karmic pattern of release and joy, release and joy. The yew tree, Aljits, is here telling you, don't worry, even if it's rough and tumble, we are there for you, as is Awats. Awats tells you, look, Virgo, it is difficult, but isn't it important for you to be faithful to your values? Much more so than faithful to someone else's value and adapting to someone else's rules and regulations. I do have Tyr here, and Tyr here indicates that success comes in the form of a new beginning to take place once release is carried out in this cycle, typically in the next new moon. We've got Ingvats here, and Ingvats talks about, the lighting just won't allow us to see that. Maybe if I do that. Nope. That didn't work. Maybe, there you go. Anyway, Ingvats tells you that there are building blocks here, and they are starting to be put one on top of another in this full moon cycle. And why is that important? It's so important because when we get to the full moon cycle, it's important because when we get to the new moon cycle, you're going to be able to build on that platform, on that foundation, on that Four of Wands. That was the theme of this reading, Virgo. I do hope this was of help to you. So complex, these moon readings. They're so they take a lot of energy out of me. I do hope this was of help. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo friends. Like, share, and subscribe my videos. I would love that. And until we read together again, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.